Yeah, I know it is. So anyway, there are now a group of people, and guess where they are? Legislators, guess where they are? Texas. No guessing where they are. That wants to undo no-fault divorce. Now they want divorce that is at fault. In other words, one of the parties has to be at fault, which means what? It's no longer irreconcilable differences. You know what it is now? It's having sex with someone other than your spouse. It is abuse, either mental or physical abuse, like it used to be before no-fault divorce. It even used to be the point when both parties wanted a divorce. Ready for this? They manufactured the husband going into a motel room with a friend, staying half an hour, walking out, and taking pictures, and the wife goes in and says, see? Adultery, which is one of the grounds for divorce. I mean, that's when both parties agree to have a divorce. So you got Republicans all over the country reconsidering no-fault divorce. And basically, like the fights against abortion and contraception, what it's really about is control. There's nothing more than that. Last year, the Republican Party of Texas added language to its platform calling for an end to no-fault divorce. Quote, we urge the legislature to rescind unilateral no-fault divorce laws to support the covenant of marriage. Okay, now, when you hear the phrase, the covenant of marriage, your hackles have to rise immediately. What the hell does that mean? I'll tell you what it means. Marriage is sacrosanct. Catholic Church, you can't get a divorce. You're married. You're done. If you're a Mormon, right? You get married. The next day, your wife gets hit by a truck. And so you get married to someone else. And that marriage lasts for 55 years. You die. By the way, the second marriage doesn't count. It's that first one where you're married for a day. That's the way it works in the Mormon religion. I mean, there's still religious parts of it. But civilly, covenant marriage and pass legislation extending the period of time in which a divorce may occur. In other words, you can't get divorced if there is divorce for an extended period of time. The Texas GOP, the Republicans, are in favor of this. Keep in mind, the Republicans have a grip on both chambers of the state legislature, every single elected office. Similar proposals going down in the Republican Party of Louisiana, Nebraska, even the Republican National Convention in 2016. The delegates talked about overhauling their platform with this declaration, and that is, children are made to be loved by both natural parents united in marriage. So I guess if you're not united in marriage, you don't love your kids. Okay, that's fine. And legal structures such as no-fault divorce, I'm quoting now, which divides families and empowers the state, should be replaced by fault-based divorce. In other words, you stay married under the law.
I will tell you, out of experience, that it takes you 4 minutes to get freaking married, but it takes you 4 years right now to get a divorce.
No, it really doesn't. You filed, it will take you basically a year. You've got 6 months for your interlocutory decree after filing, and then another 6 months before it is finalized.
Okay, so we officially filed on, I think it went to our attorney in September. It didn't get filed until Halloween, which I think is funny.
That's just late attorney meeting.
And then we're still waiting. Like, it took forever to get served, and I know that I'm not the only one out there that this is happening to, because I've got friends going through divorces who are like, what the hell is going on with this system?
And we're the best. As far
I know,
as divorce.
which is terrifying.
But there's a lot of legal aspects of it, because you have this, you're right, the filing, the service, asking for the interlocutory decree in front of the judge. You have to wait 6 months, asking for the final decree, and if there is a dispute and you're going to trial over custody or over assets or support, that's going to take you a while. And let's not forget the videos of the goat. All right, coming up, more women making as much money as their husband, but still doing the majority of the housework. Damn straight. That's the way it should be. Let's check in with Jennifer Jones-Lee, live in the KFI 24-hour newsroom.
You are so lucky you're in a different studio. The U.S. is sending an additional 1,500 active duty troops to the southern border as Title 42 will expire in a week, and that's when a surge of migrants is expected in the U.S. A days-long manhunt for the guy accused of killing 5 people in Texas is over. Francisco Oropesa was arrested yesterday in the city of Cut and Shoot after the FBI got a tip. And a judge has ruled against a transgender lawmaker in Montana who was banned from the Republican-controlled chamber last week. Representative Zoe Zephyr had tried to regain access to the House floor through a court order arguing that her rights had been violated. We'll get a look at your drive with the KFI in the sky in just a moment.
Yeah, I've been a business person my entire life, and like most small to medium-sized business owners, we couldn't come close to affording an HR person. Well, there's an answer now, Bambi.com. You get that dedicated HR person to help you with all of your HR issues starting at only $99 per month. I know it sounds too good to be true. I thought so. This is real. Go to Bambi.com, type in KFI on the radio drop down when you sign up. Bambi, B-A-M-B-E-E. That's Bambi.com.
SoCal weather from KFI. We've got a mostly cloudy day ahead with a slight chance of showers, better chance of showers tomorrow. Highs both days will be in the upper 50s to lower 60s. This report is brought to you by Blindster.com. Let's get a look at your drive with the KFI in the sky in the 605.
Good morning. Well, I must tell you, we have very, very slow traffic pretty much everywhere. I just heard from my buddy Herb, who's going up from Riverside, or going to Riverside, I should say. And his text was weird traffic. That's exactly what it is. Just a lot of volume. Still at Home Depot early. 605 is okay. It's definitely slow from the 105 up through the 5, but after that you're okay to the 60. Now here's the problems. 2 big problems still continue. E60 at Nogales overturned work. We've got lanes blocked. It's jammed coming away from the 605, especially if you're driving a rig. Continue on that north 605. Go east 10 or east 210. To the east, you'll be very happy you did. And going towards Santa Clarita, long delays from the split. North 5 and Lyons, only 2 lanes are open. Long delays. Jeff KFI in the sky.
Hello, beautiful. I'm Amy Erin, founder of Madison Reed, a hair color company I named after my daughter. I started Madison Reed to give you the most gorgeous hair color made with ingredients you can feel good about. Are you tired of drugstore hair color? You deserve better. Spring is here and the forecast calls for your best hair color ever. Upgrade to salon quality hair color that nourishes and improves the condition of your hair without any harsh odors. It's easily done at home and we deliver it to your door. Plus, our hair color matching technology makes picking the right color easy, fast, and accurate. For a limited time, new clients get 15% off plus free shipping on your first online order. Visit madison-reed.com/promo. Take our online color quiz to find your perfect shade. That's madison-reed.com/promo. Try it, love it. That's the beauty of Madison Reed.
Now at T-Mobile, new and existing customers can get our best deals like the amazing iPhone 14 on us.
I love being with T-Mobile. They upgraded me to a new iPhone 14 with its advanced camera.
Wow, it's a great photo. I can really see that you wore my shirt I said you couldn't borrow.
Oops.
Get iPhone 14 on us with eligible trade-in on our new Go 5G Plus plan. Only at T-Mobile.
24 monthly bill credits plus tax for well-qualified customers. Contact us before canceling to continue credits or credit stop and balance on required finance agreement due. Details at T-Mobile.com.
Filling up on quality top-tier gas for less at Arco is an easy win. Another easy win? To-do lists. You can put anything on them to feel really accomplished. Wake up, check. Drink coffee, check. Drink some more coffee, check. Feel anxious because too much coffee, check. That's 4 checks. You're doing it. Just like when you fuel up at Arco. Put that on your list and check it.
Take the win with quality top-tier gas for less at Arco. Savings based on independent retail price survey.
In this week's Marketers Report, Patrizio Spagnoletto, Global Chief Marketing Officer, Direct-to-Consumer for Warner Brothers Discovery, weighs in on building trust.
Trust is a really hard thing to build and a really easy thing to destroy, and we have to be very respectful about that. Our partnership with iHeart has really helped us build that trust and that relationship with the on-air talent.
As the #1 audio company, iHeartMedia gives marketers access to the audience influencers, and data you need to grow. If you're a marketer, go to iHeartResults.com.
Imagine you're looking at a balancing scale with everything you do for other people on one side and everything you do for yourself on the other side. If it isn't balanced, maybe it's time to spend a little more time on you. And therapy is a great place to start. BetterHelp connects you with a licensed therapist online who can help you find that balance and stick to it. Tap now or visit betterhelp.com/pressplay to get 10% off your first month. That's betterhelp.com/pressplay.
The free iHeartRadio app is #1 for music, radio, and podcasts all in one. Discover a new podcast from our library of hundreds of thousands of titles. Here's an iHeartRadio podcast preview.
In the mountains of California, there was a program that promised to fix troubled kids using a controversial form of therapy.
Kids would come to that school because parents were absolutely desperate for some kind of help, some kind of solution, because they thought their kids were killing themselves. We were trying to save lives.
We were in like a psychological sandstorm. You know, like everything was strange.
You were going to confront yourself, you're going to have other people confront you, and you take a deep look at who you are and how you got there.
I mean, by today's standard, it would all be illegal. You're not allowed to touch students at all. We were always all over each other.
CETA was not a therapeutic community. It was a school where kids came to learn how to grow up.
12 months ago, I began investigating the story of a 16-year-old boy who went missing from a so-called tough love residential program. What I discovered was that parents were sending their kids to this expensive therapeutic boarding school, not knowing that it was linked to what some experts call America's most dangerous cult.
I was getting threatening phone calls.
What did these phone calls say?
We're gonna kill you.
The Lost Kids Podcast.
Listen and follow this podcast for free on the iHeartRadio app. #1 for music, radio, and podcasts, all in one app.
You can have an AI on a dating app weeding out people and then reporting back to you.
Chatbot, get Halle Berry to go on a date.
Right, and say I look like Idris Elba. That wouldn't work.
I thought you wanted to make her laugh.
No, damn!
Mo Kelly.
Oh, that was a stab right through the heart.
Live 7 to 10 p.m. on KFI.
And on demand anytime on the iHeartRadio app.
Took you through a little book of sex tips. Remember when the boys were rolling down the street, but now what you talk, she's gonna get it.
KFI, AM 640 Handle here on a Wednesday morning, May 3rd. Some of the bigger stories that we are covering. I guess good news out of a horrible situation in that shooting in Texas of 5 people, including that 9-year-old boy and his mom, Francisco Oropesa, who they knew he did the shooting immediately. He's been on the run, and I mean, the number of law enforcement folks looking for him was just overwhelming. Well, they found him. He was hiding under laundry in his sister's house. So he's arrested, which is all good news. I want to go to a topic of social interest that I have a sort of a personal experience with this. So few women are going to be surprised on this one. Those of you that work, and most women do work. Even when wives earn about the same as their husbands or even more, there is a study that just came out from the Pew Research Center that says that those women, remember, make as much as their husbands or more, still spend more time on housework and childcare, and husbands spend more time on paid work and leisure. They just sit. The husbands have a good time with their hobbies, drinking beer and
Police reported ahead.
belching and having a rip-roaring good time in front of that football game than the wives who work and make as much money. Okay. Which, by the way, is as it should be, but that's just a personal view of this. The Pew study said 29% of heterosexual marriages today, they didn't look at gay marriages, only at heterosexual marriages, 29%, a third basically, of men and women in those marriages earn about the same amount of money. We're talking $60,000 each, so it's $120,000 a year household. And husbands in egalitarian marriages, equal Stephen there, or, equal, what's that phrase? Yeah. Wives in those egalitarian marriages spend still 3.5 hours more per week, where husbands spend 3.5 more hours per week in leisure activity than the wives do. Wives in those marriages spend roughly 2 hours more per week on caregiving than the husbands do, 2.5 hours more per week on housework, in 55% of straight marriages, opposite sex marriages, where men are the primary or sole breadwinners. Those earn a median of $96,000 to their wives' $30,000. Okay? So when the men are the big breadwinners, I mean, obviously that makes sense, but that is the difference, $96,000 to the wives' $30,000. And that has to do with the gender gap, the pay gap, and it actually has narrowed much in 20 years. As much as we talk about women's rights, as much as we talk about the movement, remember the pay gap between men and women and this huge movement to equal it all out, it really isn't happening very much. And when the wives out-earn their husbands, it's at about 16% of marriages, or they're the sole breadwinner, that's only 6% of marriages. Women earn $88,000 to their husbands, let's say $35,000. And almost none of those caregivers, men spend more time caregiving than their wives, even when the woman is the sole breadwinner. I mean, it's really kind of unfair. Now, how do I feel about this? Well, first of all, in my marriage, I've been the sole breadwinner. Just so happens that's the way it works. Because thank goodness, between law practice and here, I've always earned enough money, so Marjorie didn't have to work. Does she spend more time with the children than I do? Of course. If she were the sole breadwinner, would she spend more time with the children? Of course. Would I spend any time with the children? Historically, basically no. Now, personal experience. My mother and father, who came to the United States from Brazil, and Brazil was a very paternalistic country. Women, for the most part, didn't work. Very few women worked. The men did the work, and women, of course, were the caregivers. My mother was one of the few that worked. She was a dentist, and my dad was an electrical engineer. So they both worked. And in an almost non-existence mode, I mean, in a world that didn't exist down there, my mother and father both did all the housework. They split the housework. So when we came here,